Leading off our discussion tonight is Democratic Senator Adam Schiff of California. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and a former member of the House January 6th Committee. Senator Schiff, thank you very much for being here tonight. As the senator representing California, what is it that you want people to know about tonight, about what's happening there?
Well, I think it really all comes back to the original lie of the Trump campaign, his first campaign, right when he came down that golden escalator and tried to tell the American people that everyone coming to this country as an immigrant or a migrant was some kind of a murderer or a rapist or people who meant to do Americans harm. When the vast, vast majority of people coming here want to work, they want to try to provide for themselves and their family. And this is what they've done. In fact, immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than people that are born in America. But having told that lie to the American people, he then told another lie that he was going to focus on those violent criminals. And, of course, not finding enough of those violent criminals to go after, he's now engaging in these indiscriminate raids. They're chasing farm workers through fields. They're showing up at schools. They're showing up outside of a Home Depot. They're just grabbing people at traffic stops. They say they're looking for one person, but they're grabbing anybody they can get. And yes, people are going to protest that. And yes, people are going to be angry and they're going to be fearful. And then, for Donald Trump to add fuel to the fire by federalizing the Guard over the objection of the governor, by calling in the Marines effectively, this is an arsonist trying to set fire to things. And with predictable results. But I think the mayor was right to impose a curfew to make sure that we maintain the calm. We've been making constant calls, all of us, to remain peaceful, not take the bait that Donald Trump is offering. But, I think things are improving in Los Angeles. Each day seems to be more quiet than the day before. And I can tell you this, working very closely with the immigrant community and the stakeholders, they are very well organized. They get out the message, we don't want violence. The people using violence are people like, moth to a flame who just like to seize any opportunity for mayhem. And there are going to be people like that in any city. And those people should be arrested and prosecuted if they're using violence of any kind. But people need to protest and express themselves, as indeed we can expect this coming weekend over Trump's other abuse of the military to provide him a birthday party.
The Attorney General today was asked by Garrett Haake about if you're so upset about Los Angeles, what about January 6th? And the Attorney General said, well, what's going on in Los Angeles is ongoing. First of all, it was just gibberish. She didn't answer the question at all. But she pretended that it's an ongoing thing when, in fact, it is not. There is nothing happening in Los Angeles day to day that requires a massive intervention. What would you want the Attorney General to know about January 6th that apparently she doesn't know?
Well, January 6th, there were hundreds of police officers that were beaten and gouged and bear sprayed. And among the very first acts of this president on his first day in office was to give pardons to those violent criminals. So when we hear the president say that he backs law enforcement, when we hear the Attorney General say it, when we hear people like Kash Patel say it, it all comes across as a big fat lie, because the very first day in office, they did exactly the opposite. And this cannot be situational. You're either supportive of law enforcement or you're not. I'm supportive of law enforcement, whether it's on January 6th or today. It doesn't matter the context. Violence against law enforcement is never justified. But for them, if you're using violence against law enforcement in the service of Donald Trump, then anything goes.
California Senator Adam Schiff, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Lawrence.